What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the More Life Frequency podcast. If you're looking to infuse your events with an epic party vibe, or you're getting started in the entertainment industry, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Isaac, and after a decade of rocking dance floors from Australia to Greece, I'm here to share with you the stories and strategies I've learned throughout my journey in the entertainment business. Welcome, Alex, to the More Life Frequency. Thank you so much for joining me.
I'm excited to be here. It's going to be good.
Excellent. So Alex is a marriage celebrant from the Vow Ceremonies.
Correct.
She's been a marriage celebrant for how long now?
3.5 years now.
Okay, so. Wow. Amazing. So I'm going to get straight into asking a question to you, and that is, what's one thing that people tend to overlook when they book a marriage celebrant, which would really elevate their, I guess, celebration a little bit more?
I think something that's very commonly overlooked as weddings for a whole is people forget that the ceremony is the most important part of the day, and actually getting married is super important. So people sometimes come to you and they're like, I booked absolutely everything else and then now I'll get a celebrant, which is a bit of a shame. Like, the ceremony should be the most important part of the day. It's why we're getting married. So
Exactly.
It's nice now. I feel like there's a bit of a switch. More people are prioritising the ceremony as like the first part of the day and one of the biggest elements of the day, rather than just like photography and the florist and all the fun things. So it's nice that switch is kind of happening, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how does one get started in the wedding celebrant sort of industry? How does one go from like, oh yeah, I love because I find a lot of people look into their lives and it's like one of the highlights, obviously. So how did you decide to go down that path?
Well, I was a bridesmaid quite a lot and I loved weddings, and I was a maid of honour a couple of times and got to make the maid of honour speeches, and I obviously loved public speaking and just loved weddings. And someone said to me, oh, you're such a good public speaker, and I forget who it was. I wish I could remember, but someone said you should try and be a celebrant, and I thought, oh my God, that'd be so cool because you get to go to weddings all the time and tell people's love stories and meet lots of new people. So I did the course. It's a like a certificate 4 course you can do via private training offerings, and it took about 6 months to do. I did it during COVID, so I kind of smashed out the course.
Oh, cool.
And then you have to get registered with the government, which takes another 3 months. So it took about 9 months, but I was pretty dedicated to getting the business up and running, getting the Instagram going, and had my first wedding. My first 5 weddings were like friends or people I knew, which was really cool. And then started to get some like organic bookings, which was really cool. So now, that's
and
how
now
I got
it's
into
picking
it.
up.
Yes, I have lots of leads now, which is exciting, and I have a couple of celebrants, junior celebrants, that I pass leads off to when I can't do the wedding. So
look at you go, recruiting as well.
Yeah, it's pretty big now, which is exciting.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome. I had no idea that you have to like do an official course and all that sort of stuff. It's and obviously the celebrants that you hire go through like the same process.
Yeah, well, it's like a legal marriage. So I think, a lot of people, as I was saying before, kind of underestimate the celebrant or what they do. Like, a lot of times people are like, oh, you just show up on the day, like do the ceremony and that's it. But there's so much goes into it. Like the legal stuff, you obviously can't get it wrong because it's a legal document. It's someone's marriage. So you have to put so much time and effort into those things that, people don't realize that, which is why we're so busy.
100%. Yeah, definitely. It's funny when you say that. A lot of people just say like you rock up there and then that's it. You sort of just wing it when there's so much prep to go in. I just find that fascinating because like DJing's exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, like people just reckon you rock up, you press play, you're all happy.
It's that easy.
The gear is like magically there.
Yeah.
And when so much like goes into like the training, like you said, the courses and stuff like that as well. So let's talk a little bit about, I guess, because you got to be on, right, when you're a marriage celebrant. It's kind of like a performance as well. I see it that way anyway. So I was thinking a bit about it.
Yeah.
And like even, if you have a bad day in your personal life, you still have to be like on the day. It's very similar to like performing and DJing and entertainment, which is purpose of this podcast. So let's speak to that a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you sort of, I guess, prep yourself before especially before marrying two people you don't personally know. Yeah, so.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I always leave weddings feeling super exhausted and kind of drained because, you put so much into it. You kind of have all these endorphins. And, it's funny you say that because I often will get in the car and I'm like, oh, I was only there for like 2 hours, but I'm dead. So I can't imagine how you feel DJing all night or the photographers that are on their feet all day. I feel for them. But, I always try and have pretty slow mornings. I think I try to never do too much in the morning when I have a wedding. Usually I'll have to drive 1 to 3 hours to a wedding. So
Jeez.
Like to take it easy. I'm such an early person, so I'll usually be at the wedding like 2 or 3 hours before, depending how far I've driven. But have a good meal before always, and I'll just kind of sit in the car reading the script over and over again, making sure there's any little bits to kind of pick up about the couple as well. And I often find on the day, or if there's little things that come up, like whether they say little things in their vows or there's little personal jokes, like sometimes I'll then try and tie that into the ceremony, or if there's a bit of a theme of the day. So kind of have to think on your feet a lot as well. So, your brain's working from the moment you get there to the moment you're in the car and you're like, oh, I'm
Definitely.
done.
Do you have to, I didn't realise, like, is there an element that's, I guess, scripted for it?
Well, every ceremony is completely unique. So I get the couples to fill out a couples questionnaire. So they tell me like how they met, their favourite things about each other, what they like to do together, all those little bits and pieces. And then I'll catch up with them and go through the ceremony from start to finish and give them their options. Like say, how do you want to be introduced? Do you have people from overseas? Is there special grandparents you want me to mention, or whatever it is? I go through it with them from start to finish, and then I'll go away and kind of put the two together. So every ceremony is completely different. So a lot of time and effort goes into reading the questionnaires, trying to get to know them, trying to understand the vibe and feel of what they want on the day as well.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Lots of
Heaps
time.
prep.
Scripting,
Heaps of prep. Were you always into, like, I guess, public speaking and all that as well? Was it always your strong point, even at school or like at uni and stuff?
Yeah, I was a bit of like a teacher's pet, bit of an overachiever. I was a prefect. Like, I loved school. Like, I was one of those people that loved school.
Really?
Could have stayed there forever. Like, you get to hang out with your best mates every day.
Yeah,
you have two breaks.
yeah.
It's from 9 till 3. Like, how good?
It's not like running your own business, eh?
Nah.
It's no breaks, no mates.
Take me back to school. But no, I think, like, to be honest, probably the hardest part, I think, is the creative writing and creating the ceremony, because you want to tell their story authentically and you want it to feel like them, and really try to get to know them, and you can't just constantly be like, it's such a special day. Like, you've got to try and make it feel unique.
It's got to be
special.
a bit deeper.
So trying to really broaden my vocabulary and really feel authentic to every couple, rather than having like scripted chunks that just sound like they're from ChatGPT.
Exactly. I was actually going to ask you about that. So like, with the rise of AI, everyone's going AI. How has that impacted your role in, like, I guess, script writing or anything like that? And then talk more in general about even like impacting, I guess, your business and how you run stuff too.
I think I am a little bit behind. Like, I definitely occasionally will go to ChatGPT, but I think I'm still very much want to write my own ceremonies. I did test. I sent the questionnaire and a like bit of a template and said, can you create a ceremony? And it just said so many words and phrases, like those really cringe things that you hear at weddings that you're just like, I would never say that. I was like, typical, like out of a movie kind of cringe, yucky. I haven't gone too far down that path, but I'm sure it will continue to tick up and be probably more part of a celebrant's role in any weddings, like any role within the wedding industry.
Exactly. And what about, I guess, the other parts of the business? Has it helped you in any sort of ways, or is it still a bit like...
No other part of my business am I using like AI too much yet, but I guess things like email replies and some of the paperwork I do and stuff could kind of go down that path a bit, but nothing yet.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Very interesting, because like, even I'm going to say with DJing now, not so much AI in the fact of it's taking over the performance, but I guess it's giving the ability to just another tool in the toolbox sort of thing. Maybe even for like script writing and stuff. It's just another tool you can use, but not let it override the purity of, because it's an art form, right? Script writing is an art form. Music and DJing is very much the same as well. So
could you get it to like, have you tested asking it to make you a set?
You know what?
Or like, can you put this playlist together for me or something? Because that'd be interesting to see what it comes out as.
Apparently, Apple Music just came out with this thing now that like, if you have music in a playlist, it will automatically mix it for you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but like, there's so many intricacies with it because like, if the keys clash, or like if the BPM is different, you actually can't. But there are other ways you can mix stuff in.
Yeah.
So it can help, and there are softwares out there where you can like plug in like 20 songs, and it will mix it.
Yeah.
Like, but it never like. It just doesn't have the human touch.
It won't take away from the vibe.
It's heaps robotic. It's heaps like, okay, stop this song, start this song. There's no chopping, changing.
Yeah.
There's no like, if we're at an event and somebody comes up to you and goes, oh, can you play this? And I might like creatively put the song in. There's none of that.
Yeah. The drunk girls coming up saying, can you play Martin Garrix?
I wish there was an AI robot keeping those people away, actually.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah.
That would really help.
Yeah.
That would really help.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So with weddings, and obviously it's people's, cliche, special day and whatever. But like, what would you say to somebody booking a wedding celebrant? What's the most important thing for them to think about, which will last them like through the years? If you had to like give somebody like a tip of, okay, you don't want to so much focus on this too much, it's more focus on that.
I think something that I always say to couples, and like I even say it to them on calls when I'm chatting to them, I'm like, if it's not me or someone else, you probably want to choose a celebrant that you would almost want to go and have a coffee with or have a drink with. Like, the celebrant is the first person or one of the first vendors and the moments of the day. So you want to kind of see that celebrant down the end of the aisle and be like, oh, they're going to talk me through it. They're going to look after me. Like, everyone is so nervous at that first element of the day. And I think having someone that you feel really comfortable with, like, you want to be able to open up to them. You want to be able to chat to them honestly. And yeah, I think prioritizing that when you're booking your celebrant, like, do a video call with all your vendors. That's my biggest recommendation, is do a video call and see how you vibe on the video call. Like, I don't think a phone call is enough to like understand a connection with someone. So I think you really need to feel comfortable, especially with the celebrant, because they're telling a story. They've got to get to know you on a deeper level. And they're the first person you see at that ceremony moment, which emotions are so high.
I can
like
imagine.
That, I was so nervous, and I do it every week.
Can you remember the first time that you did it, like the celebrant role?
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I was there like 4 hours early. I'd read the script 1,000 times. Like, you just don't want to stuff it up, because it's the most important day for people. Like, getting it wrong or mixing up your words or something, which is only human, but you really want to do the absolute best job you can for people, because it's the most important day of their lives, potentially one of. You do want to just do such a good job every time. So I was so prepared for that wedding, and I did quite a good job. I think I was happy with it. I didn't stuff anything up.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are we going to say stuttering words and stuff, mate? I do that all the time.
It's only natural. But even in my vows that I'd read 10,000 times, like, I got married a few months ago, and I stumbled over 3 or 4 words, and I'm like, how did I do that? I'm like, I'd read them so many times, but emotions are high. It's just, only human.
And what are some things that, like, so as a marriage celebrant, somebody sort of from the outside who doesn't see in, I guess something that they don't really know about a marriage celebrant that you'd like them to know?
Something they should know.
Yeah, not about you, but about like the profession sort of thing.
I think I guess what I touched on before is that, like, so much goes into it. Like, there's the legal side, the creative writing side. There's just so many elements to it. And I think, as I said, people really overlook it as a role, or they always say, you just have to be here for an hour. But I think celebrants are so organised. They do so much on the wedding day, and they're such an integral part of the day. Most celebrants are super personal, like really friendly people. A lot of them are extroverts. Some of them are probably like way too far one way, which is so fine. But I think I'm a little bit further down the scale. But you obviously have to be confident. You have to be good with people. You have to be able to wrangle a crowd. I think there's some kind of elements.
How would you deal with, like, have you had couples which were just super nervous and stuff like that? And, like, do they come to you for, like, I guess, comfort or, like, anything like
Yeah.
that?
I think every couple pretty much in the history that I've ever done weddings says to me, I'm really nervous. I don't want to public speak. I'm scared for my vows. Like, no one loves to.
Is that what they're scared of?
Yeah, people don't want to stand up in front of 100 people or so and read their vows. Like, it's scary kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
I would say 99% of couples say, I'm really nervous for my vows. I'm scared to public speak, or do I have to do my vows?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think just having that, like, you do that initial intro call, you meet up with them to plan the ceremony, and then on the day I'll always go and see the couples before, and I always just like to just chat to them, being like, how's your morning been? How you feeling? And I think sometimes, like, a few couples have said to me after, like, oh, just seeing you before just made me feel really comfortable, and you just want to be there to calm
That's
their
awesome.
nerves,
Yeah.
support them, and just be there for them. So, yeah, I think that's a very important role the celebrant plays, is to kind of like calm everyone down. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just imagine it's the two of you up there. There's no one else. There's not 120 people staring at you. It's just you two.
Yeah.
So yeah, reminding people that it's okay.
So there's a bit of a, like, psychological, I guess, aspect to being a marriage celebrant.
100%. Like, you really do have to make people feel comfortable and excited for the ceremony. You don't want them to be super nervous and
No, exactly.
wish it was over.
Yeah. Do you have any horror stories, Ali?
I've had quite a few people faint during ceremonies, like not the bride and groom, but my biggest wedding tip, don't have summer weddings. It is too hot in Australia. And you're about to go to Europe and do it. Good luck, but have your ceremony in the shade. You will not be comfortable. Your guests will not be comfortable. I will not be comfortable rushing through the ceremony, trying to get it over with. But I've had 5 or 6 people faint, like different guests, a groomsman, just too hot.
And a groomsman as well?
A groomsman, yeah.
Probably in the suit and all that sort of jazz.
He had to sit down, and it was the bride's brother, the poor thing. But everyone was a really hot day. They always want the ceremony in the sun, in the pretty backdrop. And I'm always like, any shade? How many umbrellas have we got? We've got 2 umbrellas. Great. That's not enough.
Oh, no.
But it's
have to be going around handing it to everyone.
Yeah, but it is hard in Australia. Like, I did a wedding in March this year, like end of March, and it was like a 38-degree day. Like, how do you know in March it's going to be that hot?
Yeah.
Be cautious. Have plenty of water. More than 2 umbrellas, lots of shade if you're very persistent on a summer wedding.
There's the hot tip.
There
it is. That's awesome. Because, when I went overseas to Geordie's wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I was a groomsman
steamy.
at that. Man, that was like, and it was a tuxedo.
Yeah.
I was wearing a tux sort of thing, and it was hot.
Yeah.
It was really hot. We were in the AC, and we're like, okay, we're going to do the ceremony now.
Yeah.
And everyone like goes out in their suit and stuff. It was hot. Obviously, it was super nice, blah, blah, blah. It was the evening. It was fine.
It cools down.
It does, but, like, man, I agree with you. It's like...
And it makes the guests, like, want it to be over. Like, I had a friend that we kind of rushed through it, and I skipped a bit out because it was so hot. And then she actually said to me after, she was like, oh, I am, like, not at me, but she was like, I am disappointed it was so hot and we had to rush the ceremony. And I'm like, that's unfortunately what happens. Like, when it's, your guests were literally melting, like, I had to cut it short. Like, people would have fainted. So,
definitely.
Yeah, it's a shame. But
man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Any other horror stories? Nothing too crazy, just, like, family dynamics, and you're often sometimes in the middle of them, like, trying to calm them down, like people wanting to make speeches and stuff. Like, I do a bit of emceeing as well, and I've had people being like, if maybe the father of the bride or something wasn't making a speech or whatever, family members come up and go, you have to let them make a speech. I'm like, it's not my decision. It's not my decision. But people come to you with a lot of, like, family antics and stuff, and you've got to try and calm it down.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's harder, I guess, when, like, you don't know these people.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll still, you don't want to bother the bride and groom, which I try to avoid, but sometimes you do have to just be like, look, that this person's asked to make a speech. Do you want them to? And they'll usually be like, no, they know they're not allowed. Like,
oh, you're kidding? Okay, so they just try to sneak around. Oh my god! So I had my videographer on the podcast. I had Jake on the podcast, and he was talking about the drunk MC who's the uncle or something, and and they'd have to cut them off or like even send them home, like in this instance.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was just like, no, you've had too much to drink. You can't like, so it's just so funny with weddings and stuff.
Yeah, that's why you need a professional MC, because you want your friends and family to be able to absolutely let loose and have as many drinks as they want, and then having a professional is they can look after all those logistics and things for you.
Yeah.
But having a friend is obviously super special as well. So
Yeah. So long as they deliver. I guess.
Maybe if they're not big drinkers, you can have a friend.
Yeah. And I guess some people could get extra nervous just without even knowing if they haven't done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Do you find there's a lot of, I guess, I didn't know you offer like MC services as well.
Like I don't do too many, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there any element of, I guess, because it happens with DJs, oh, my mate does it or this or that. Do you get any of that in, I guess, your realm as well?
Like a friend will do a certain part or...
Yeah. So for MCing or whether it's like presenting or in regards to the ceremony and things like that. And the non-legal part of it, do you get that at all?
I have people sometimes will say, I've got a friend that we really want to do the ceremony or they want to do the MC. Can you come and just say do the legal part of the wedding or the ceremony or just be there to kind of help them along the way? So you can do this thing called a co-pilot ceremony where say you could be the celebrant and I'm just off to the side, like I say the legal parts to them privately and sign the certificate. So they have like a friend. Yeah, you can have a friend do the ceremony and then I can just do like the legal stuff privately after.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool.
Or sometimes the friend will do it and then I'll come in and do like a quick legal bit in front of everyone. But yeah, it's something you have that option to do as well.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You can. Because people will often be like, I've got this friend who's really chatty and we want him or her to do the ceremony and so it gives you that option.
Yeah.
But then you have to pay a celebrant to come all the way to your wedding and then someone else has to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Not super common, but...
Yeah, okay.
It
does happen.
If you're wondering, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Now you know.
I didn't know. So there you go. You learn something every day.
Now you know, yeah.
So Alex, walk me through a day in the life. So it's the wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walk me through that journey from a marriage celebrant's perspective.
Yeah, so love a morning walk. I'll normally go get a coffee, come back, probably read the script again, do a little bit of final editing. Like I feel like every time I read it, I'll do some like final little bits and pieces. Start packing everything. So the night before I would have charged like speaker, microphone, all that jazz. My iPad has to make sure it's all charged. Get all the paperwork. So make sure I've got all the certificates, make sure I've printed their vows, make sure I've got an envelope to put the certificate in, spare envelopes, spare certificates, all that kind of stuff. Pack the car, usually have a little snack. Drive wherever I have to go, maybe listen to a podcast, call a friend, listen to some music. I normally listen to like some pump up music on the way to the wedding to get the vibes going. Yeah.
Somewhere it's at.
yeah, definitely. And then, I'm always there super early. I just can't help myself. I'll usually drop all my like equipment, speaker, stand, everything at the ceremony space. Then I'll usually like go and see the venue, introduce myself, see them. Go and see the bride and groom both separately, show them their vows, make sure they are all okay. Be like, is there anything you're worried about, anything you need? Then I'll usually go back to the ceremony space and kind of just wait because I always feel like guests arrive pretty early and like photographers, DJs, everyone has to come and set up. So I like to just be there. And I obviously like chat with the musicians and DJs about the music timing if they're there at that time. The photographer, like I'll always say, hey, we're going to do the kiss at this time or we're doing a private signing. So there won't be a signing during the ceremony just so everyone's like on the same page. Obviously do the ceremony. Then after I'll usually stay and take a bit of content because I love getting like little behind the scenes content for my business. And then usually head off like once cocktail hour kind of really kicks off and drive home. Usually pizza on the lounge or something very mind numbing. I always get home and I'm like, my brain just like...
You have to be on the whole time.
Yeah,
I can imagine how it would get like really, really tiring towards the end.
So it's a big day. Like, I'll usually leave like Southern Highlands weddings. Usually I'm leaving the house by like 10 or 11. Places like Mona Farm, Hunter Valley, the ones a bit further away, like I'm leaving the house at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So getting home at 9 or 10 as well. So long days sometimes.
Do they ever sort your like accommodation and stuff like that if it's far away? And do you have like in the music industry we have a rider, so like we say, you know, if it's this far away, you got to be accommodation and da-da-da. Do you have something similar?
Yeah, so if I'm emceeing and it's more than like an hour or so away, I'll usually ask for accommodation. Like I'll say, do you want me to book something, or this is my fee? Only if the wedding was more than like 4 hours away would I book accommodation. So like 3 hours each way to Mona Farm or up to the Hunt is probably the furthest I'll drive in the day, because normally you're done by 4 or 5 and you can drive home. But any further than that, I would book accommodation and let them know a fee to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any other like requirements that you have when people book you at all?
No, Celebrants is super easy. So again, unless you're emceeing, you don't need like a vendor meal or anything like that. All the venues are pretty good. Like they'll always be like, do you want a water or do you need anything before?
I was going to say, yeah.
But usually I always take my like own drink bottle and all that stuff. So you don't need too much, which is good. And because you are actually usually only on site for a few hours, you don't need too much. So very easy. Bring everything yourself.
That's so good. That's so good. It's such a contrast with what I was chatting to Jake about videography and with us as well. There's this massive, like, you know, make sure, you know, with the food and because you got to time it with, you know, the couple as well. You don't want to be eating when they're ready to dance, or like with the videographers, you don't want to miss a key moment when they're not, you know, when they finish eating. So it's just like a massive, it's like being a conductor. Sort of thing, like on that day. So
a lot goes into it.
Yeah. So pretty crazy. I think you get out of there at the right time.
Yeah. That's why I love emceeing, but it does become like a long day and there's a lot of pressure to do all the certain things and crack little jokes and stuff. So I do MC sometimes, but not all the time. So
would it ever be like on the same day that you're the celebrant? Like you do both?
Mostly, yeah. I would only ever do an MC gig if they booked me for a celebrant. So I wouldn't ever just MC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So only if I'm already there and it like makes sense. So
and do you have to like, I guess, snap out of one thing and go into another, like changing acts almost? Or
a little bit, but it is quite good, to be honest, when you do back to back, because obviously the crowd already knows you and you can already be like, hello guys, I'm still here, I'm your MC tonight, and people feel quite comfortable and stuff with you because they've already seen you at the ceremony, or you've had a chat to the aunties and the uncles or whoever. People love to stop you at weddings and be like, oh, that was so beautiful, how'd you get into it, and blah blah blah. So you kind of do build a bit of a connection with the guests, which is nice. So then you get to hang out and watch them all night, which is fun. It's always so good watching everyone on the dance floor and the vibes just lift as the night goes on. The nerves fade away.
The alcohol kicks in.
Yeah.
And then
what you get to see, all the fun stuff.
All the time. That's when the celebrant goes home is usually when that's my start.
Time to shine.
Yeah. So now it's always funny how comparing like the start of it like to the end of it. But you know, people having a good time and stuff. It's always so good to see.
So,
it's really fun. Wedding gigs are very different, like to the other sorts of gigs that I do anyway. In that it's just that there's a lot of like prep. There's all this hype. There's all this like, do you know what I mean? So how do you actually think weddings have changed in the past few years, be that like with technology or other aspects, maybe like trends, let's say, and like social media trends and stuff? Does that impact
I think social media is just like, obviously in any industry, it's so influential for its time, and there's so many trends. Like you'll see the same thing at every wedding for a year, then there'll be a new trend and everyone's doing the same thing. So I think the trends are just coming and going thick and fast. Like there's always trends. I would say the wedding industry, it is just becoming bigger and bigger. Like people want the big wedding that they can post on Instagram and show off their unique wedding, and bigger this and bigger that. So I think there is that element of the social media influences the weddings to be something bigger and bigger. But I think what I always say to my couples is think about what's actually authentic to you and what's important to you. Like, you don't need $20,000 worth of flowers. Like, the flowers are going to die. Like, if you want to have cocktails at cocktail hour, but you can't afford them, but you're spending all this money on flowers or stationery, which is so beautiful. But I think people start to just lose their priorities of what your guests are going to walk away from that wedding going, how good were those drinks? How was the dance floor? That food was so yummy. Like, no one leaves a wedding and goes, oh my God, those flowers were beautiful. Like, maybe some people do, but
no, I agree.
You don't,
I agree 100%. And every guest I've had on the podcast and the solo episodes I've done, I like touch on that exact thing.
Yeah.
So there are certain things I think that, like, you know, what tablecloth people use, or like the cutlery, or like, I guess they can spend so much extra money on that stuff, but no one's going to remember.
No one notices.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a huge budget, great, do all those things. But like even little things, like I always say to couples, like the welcome signs, like everyone knows whose wedding they're at. Like, if you're really strapped for cash, why do you need a welcome sign?
That depends how much they had before then.
So just little things like that. And like, I think something I'm seeing as well, like, change is weddings are becoming very personal. Like, people are realizing that they don't have to do the cookie cutter same thing as the last person's done. Like, they can really find what's unique to them. Like, if they've got 100%. Pets, try and include them, or just special elements. Like, you know, if you love espresso martinis, have an espresso martini tower. Like, you don't have to have a champagne tower or whatever it is, but like really being authentic to the couple and the things they love and what they want to do, rather than just being like, oh, now we have to do this or we have to do a bouquet toss. Like, you don't have to do any of that stuff. Yeah, do what you want. It's your day.
Yeah. No, 100%. I agree. The first ever weddings I ever DJ'd at were like very traditional. Instagram was just coming up and all that. But now there's a real shift in not just wedding gigs, but I think other things as well. Yeah. And they're becoming a lot more, I guess, like you said, authentic. Yeah. People are becoming more comfortable expressing themselves in what was a traditional thing.
100%.
Yeah. Historically.
More unique.
So,
and
definitely.
It's good, which is good, because weddings are starting to feel different. Like, you never know what you're going to get kind of thing. But there's definitely this, you can feel that vibe of some weddings that very feel same. And you almost wonder if you're like, did anyone tell you that you don't have to do all these things? Like, do you have a friend or someone that could have warned you that you don't?
A choice?
Yeah, you don't have to do these things. But no. Yeah, they're still special and beautiful.
Do you have like a highlight wedding or like a moment at a wedding that stood out for you at all?
I've done 2 bridesmaid celebrant gigs, so I got to be a bridesmaid and a celebrant at the same time, which was pretty unforgettable.
Oh, wow.
Like, marrying your best friend but also being a bridesmaid was like so special but very stressful, but like incredible. Like, I was so nervous and I was crying and trying to speak and all the emotions are coming out, and that was like, I'll never forget those. I also did a wedding in Mallorca last year, which was insane. Like, I'll never forget that wedding. It was amazing.
Was that for someone you knew?
It was actually for a wedding photographer. So she's a Melbourne wedding photographer, and we kind of connected over Instagram, which was really cool. So I legally married them first in Melbourne. They did like a secret wedding. They hired this beautiful little venue, did a secret wedding, and then I did their wedding over in Mallorca later in the year. So I built like quite a beautiful connection with them, which was, so incredible. Like, overseas weddings just are next level, like very cool.
Yeah. Well, what do you think makes that like spark?
I think just for me personally, just being at a different venue that it was this old kind of like castle in Mallorca. Probably castle's the wrong word, but like just this old building. There was just so much character, and there's just not buildings like that in Australia, unfortunately. There's some, and there's so many beautiful wedding venues in Australia. But it just felt so regal, and obviously she was a wedding photographer, so she knew all the things. She had the best of the best vendors, and it was very, aside from the fact it was in Mallorca, it was incredible all the things she did, because she obviously knew what she wanted and those things. So very memorable on many levels.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's
very
absolutely
cool.
Crazy. So you were flown and all that stuff. Was there like any other, I guess, logistical stuff you had to consider for the people listening who do or are thinking of getting into either celebrant,
Yeah.
being a wedding celebrant, even whatever it is, a DJ, what would you say they have to consider before like traveling overseas? What's any extra prep, I guess?
Yeah, I guess I was super lucky. She had all the equipment like microphone, speaker, PA, so I obviously didn't have to lug that all the way to Mallorca. Obviously had to take a little bit of paperwork, but because the weddings over there are not actually legal, because how I said I legally married them in Australia first, it's more of just like a commemorative ceremony. So it's a lot more laid back probably than the weddings here. But for a celebrant, it's pretty easy to do the overseas weddings. You don't need heaps of equipment or anything like that. So it's a pretty good gig if you can line it up. We lined it up with a holiday. We went to Italy as well and did a bit of traveling around. So yeah, it was perfect to go over there and do a wedding as well.
Holiday.
Yeah,
There's nothing better. There's nothing better than a working holiday.
Yeah,
hey?
yeah. So I'd love to try and do a few more. There's a couple of celebrants that have like really nailed the overseas kind of like elopement style weddings, and also some overseas. They've got that like international clientele, which is really cool. So love to go down that path, but it is a bit hard for celebrants because technically it's not a legal wedding, so they don't need you there. Like how before I was saying a friend could actually do the wedding overseas. So
okay, I understand.
Whereas like a photographer or DJ or something, you would want a professional to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's not super common for celebrants kind of to be flown overseas, but it's cool when it happens.
But if you're good, you're good.
Yes.
Like,
very nice compliment.
No, definitely. And like I was saying before, I do think like there's an art form to being able to like speak in front of people and like you're basically conducting, I guess, their wedding and the beginning of their day. So there's definitely a talent there. Mate, fly a wedding celebrant. Fly Alex.
Yeah, I'm happy to come to Mallorca.
Overseas. Yeah, definitely. Some other countries too.
Anywhere.
Start dominating Europe.
Yes, yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
I'm doing New Zealand next March, going to Queenstown. Or
are you
Wanaka,
kidding?
actually. So yeah.
Okay.
That'll be cool.
No, amazing. Queenstown. Have you been?
I have been to Queenstown, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so
awesome.
I'm excited for that.
And the venue, new
I've
to you?
never been there. It's insane. It's called Ripon Hall, if anyone wants to look it up. Rippon Hall. Stunning. Like,
nice.
Insane. Very
Amazing.
excited.
So cool.
Yeah.
Is there, on the topic of like venues and I guess standout venues, have you had... Don't count Mallorca.
Yeah.
Because that'll ace it.
Yeah.
Around Australia, maybe people listening are thinking of like getting married or having an event or something like that of some significance. Talk me through if you sort of have any highlights of venues that you've been to.
I think in New South Wales there's kind of like a top 5 standout that like everyone knows these are the best of the best venues. So Mona Farm down in Braidwood is insane. It's just like so stunning. Check it out.
Cool.
You need a big budget for that one, so save your pennies. Same with Redleaf up in the Hunter Valley. It's like this pink kind of Tuscan house. So beautiful. Graylee down in Kiama, it just looks out at like rolling hills out to the ocean, like absolutely stunning.
So cool.
We got married at the Jackson Ranch, which literally it's owned by Bannisters, the hotel chain. So just the customer service and the food and the alcohol was next level. Like I literally, from the moment we inquired with them to we spent 3 days there to checking out, like 10 out of 10. I could not recommend them more. There's so many venues. I feel like a venue that's super underrated. The Merribee is down in Nowra. That's really beautiful, a little bit more affordable, but really beautiful gardens and stuff. That's kind of obviously very New South Wales based. There's some very cool ones down in Melbourne, like Stones of the Yarra Valley. There's one called Campbell Point House, which just looks like next level, like old English kind of castle vibes. Summerlee's House down in Sutton's Forest is pretty beautiful and cute, a little bit more smaller scale, but yeah, so many venues, but those ones are my I think Mona Farm is the most beautiful venue in New South Wales for sure.
Mona Farm. Got to go check that out.
Yeah. If you're going to get married.
Well, my brother's engaged, so there you go. He's going to be jotting down as he listens to this podcast. Oh, thank you, Alex.
Take your checkbook for that one, but worth it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, so it is, it is expensive.
Pricey.
Yeah. Do you have any insight for people when they are choosing a venue in regards to what to look out for and I guess the pros and cons of like, going expensive versus cheaper, and what you give up, because it's always a bit of give and take, right?
Yeah, there's definitely, you have to kind of pick and choose, and I would really prioritize what's important to you. Like, we really wanted to have accommodation on site, so like obviously if that's important to you, find venues. Some venues are DIY where you have to do everything yourself, so you have to bring in tables, chairs, food, alcohol, all that stuff, which they're some of the most beautiful venues, but are you a insanely organized person, and are you mentally prepared for that? If not, I would probably book a venue that includes all that stuff. Like our venue at the Jackson Ranch had all the tables, all the chairs, food, alcohol, glasses. They did everything, so we didn't even have to worry. A lot of the venues that are like more that kind of DIY style, you have to like clean up and pack up the next day. Like, do you want to wake up the morning after your wedding and be thinking about the rubbish and like packing down the tables and chairs? Like, for me, I was like, absolutely not. That is not something I'm interested in doing. I want to wake up the next day. We had our recovery, but the next day, and just leave. I think really finding out what your venue includes. Is the food on site good? I think food and alcohol can kind of make or break a wedding. So something I think is such good advice is ask other brides or grooms that have had their wedding there. Just DM them. People will happily talk about their wedding and say, hey, how was your experience with the venue? What was the food like? All these kind of things, which is a super easy, quick way to get feedback on a venue. Because, I think those things are very important. Good food, good alcohol. Yeah. Can you have guests stay on site? Is there accommodation nearby? Is it easy for your guests to get to and from? Are you going to have to organise buses?
Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that. No. Like, oh, yeah, that's right. We have to get there. And the vendors too. Yeah. Like, so many times I've been called up, okay, like loading dock. Oh, yeah, no, it's not available at that time. Or like there's not enough spots to unload because there's so many vendors,
Yeah. Actually, that's something if you've got a smaller budget and you're not willing to pay vendors to go down, like we got married on the far south coast, pretty much every vendor, which is totally fair, had a travel fee. So if you're maybe tight on budget or you want to be a bit more conscious, book something closer to Sydney or closer to where you live so it's easier to get venues. Like, I don't charge a travel fee within about an hour and a half. After that, I'll charge a travel fee. So something to consider is, if you love vendors from all over Australia, you're going to have to pay them all to come to your wedding, which adds up very quickly.
Yeah, no, it definitely would. 100% it would. And what do you remember the most about your wedding? What's like the highlight of your wedding?
I was actually thinking about this the other day. I think there's a few key moments that I'll just never forget. James and I did a first look. So we saw each other before the ceremony, and it was just like we both just kind of like burst into tears, and we were a bit nervous, and we just had this massive hug, and it was so good seeing him before the ceremony just to talk and see each other. Then James, his one moment for the wedding, he did like a double champagne shower on the ground when we entered our cocktail hour. So we got married and then all our guests went up to cocktail hour. Then we had like an entrance into the cocktail hour. So he did like a double champagne and then we went and cut our cake, which was just like such a vibe. Like the vibes were so high. It was so fun.
That's amazing. And
then the last moment that was when we went into our reception, we kind of danced in and we gave all our guests tambourines as little place cards. So everyone had their tambourines. We had the saxophone player. We danced in and then all our friends joined us on the dance floor and we played
so cool.
What's the song? Freed from Desire. And everyone was like, no, with the tambourines and everyone was just going skits and we just had this like 5-minute dance before dinner and I was like so puffed out to be like to the DJ, stop, I'm tired.
Oh, wow.
He played like 3 or 4 songs and then we all sat down to dinner. It was like such a vibe. Like I'll never get over that moment.
That's so cool. I
very
really
fun.
like that. Yeah.
But so many moments like you think about, all the special things like, but probably dance floors. All those high energy moments.
Yeah. Who chose the music actually for your? Let's talk about your wedding.
Bit of a combo. We had a DJ singer called Club Soul Weddings, and they had a sax player as well. So we obviously chose the songs for like all the key moments, but I gave them a bit of a brief of the songs that we liked, and we made a bit of a playlist. But we kind of just let them go free and vibe what the crowd was doing. We told them our kind of general vibe, and which they kind of, stuck to and everything. So, they were good at reading the room. But we did give them a bit of a brief. But I do think with some things, you book vendors and you need to put your trust in them that they're going to deliver on the day.
Amen.
Yeah. Without being here's 20 songs you have to play.
In this order. And you mix out here and you mix in there.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure. Like, again, from my experience, like having clients, which I always say, like, you have to trust as well your vendor.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they're the professional who's done this hundreds of times, sometimes thousands of times.
Yeah.
So, you know, they know what to do. They know how to get the vibe going, but they do need a bit of guidance. Even myself, as when I DJ and stuff privately and everything, it's always great to have a little bit of guidance. And like you said, bit of trust.
Yeah, bit of trust. Yeah, you've got to give them your general vibe. Like, you know, some people might love country music or R&B or early 2000s or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to let them run with it. I just told them like a few artists that I was like, please don't play like Bruno Mars or Taylor Swift and stuff.
That is...
But yeah, I don't think they would have anyway.
100%. I think more important than what to play is what not to play.
Definitely.
Because that just provides, okay, sweet, like I'll steer clear of that.
Pretty easy.
And straight away, I think when you say, oh yeah, you know, don't play Bruno Mars, I can count like how many other artists similar, okay, I won't go down that vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Easy.
So, that's so good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good tip. Tell your DJ what not to play, not what to play.
It's always good getting like an outsider's perspective. And was, I guess, the process fairly easy regarding the entertainment of the wedding? What was it, just the DJ? You said he was a singer?
So there's two guys and a sax player. So they did absolutely everything. So they sung acoustically at the ceremony, then they were singing at the cocktail hour, had some music playing, and then they were DJing and singing at night, and the sax kind of was from cocktail hour and at night. So they did all the things, which was super easy. They
Amazing.
Knew the vibe for the whole day, like just one person. So I think sometimes it's hard when you have to get like all different elements throughout the day. So very easy. Booked them in, sent them my brief, like a type A bride, a couple weeks out, and they were like, yeah, all good, done.
That's an Alex thing, sending the brief.
Don't play this. They were so chilled and absolutely nailed it, like so good. Like dance floor was amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
What would you say is your number one tip when you're booking a vendor, any vendor? Just like a quick tip of like, okay.
What I kind of touched on before is either if you know them, book them, or do a video call with them and try to get to know them, because it's so easy these days to look at someone's Instagram and go, oh my God, wow, they've got 40,000 followers or they've got 10,000 followers. They must be good. But that honestly caught us out with one vendor, which I won't go down that path.
Okay.
But yes, you need to video call with them, suss the vibe, see if you connect with them, ask other people, ask the photographer, have you worked with this videographer? Ask the venue, have you had this DJ before? Like, and just kind of get a general vibe of who they are, how they work, rather than just going, oh my God, their Instagram looks pretty, I'm going to book them.
Yeah, okay.
So,
yeah. No,
trying to get a really good connection with them before you lock them in.
In the age of social media, it's really easy to get carried away with the stuff that you see, especially if you have things go viral. Like I see, especially in the DJ realm, I see a lot of people going viral and stuff like that, and so many people book off the back of that.
Yeah. And one more thing is read Google reviews, because you will get a really good understanding of what they deliver. So say you're looking for this like amazing storyteller celebrant, usually in their Google reviews it will say like they told our story so well, or and there's like repetitive words, whereas like on mine I feel like a lot of people say she was so organized, the process was very easy, and whatever is a constant theme on their Google reviews is probably what they're going to deliver to you. So it kind of helps you get a good understanding of who they are. Or like a photographer, people might constantly say they made us feel so so relaxed on the day. We got very natural photos, or we loved their sleek look, or whatever it is, but you'll get a bit of a theme for who they are and what they deliver. So yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. I will have one last question.
And
I'm going to change it up a little bit. You can ask me a question.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't done this before, so fire away.
What is the the most memorable event or gig you've ever played?
Ooh. Can I keep it? I'm going to keep it wedding
Okay.
themed for this one.
This one.
But pretty interesting. So we had a full week from Tuesday up till Sunday of gigs. And Dan and I had just got home and we got a phone call saying, hey, this person's having a wedding and tonight, and their DJ just pulled out.
Oh.
I'm like, you're kidding. And they're like, we need you to get there. And we had just come here. This was in the QVB in the tea room.
Oh my
I don't know if you've ever been.
No, I've never been there.
But like, oh, it's such a, like, it's a bit of a pain because you have to park in the thing and there's elevators, things like that. It's like, damn. Okay, when does the wedding start? It started.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like the ceremony from before had started.
Oh my God.
The reception hadn't just yet. So anyway, we're like, okay, we'll do it. Rah, rah, rah.
Wait, did you know the couple?
No.
No. Oh
No.
my God, no.
Didn't know the couple.
Randoms. Oh God.
Maybe,
Wow.
maybe for the better, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went there, and as we were bringing the gear up, the bride was right in front of us, ready to walk in the room. Like,
Oh my
the
God.
elevator's here, and there's the bride.
Wow. The stress levels. That would have
And
been
the
like
bride's
panicky.
face was like, I don't think anyone told her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Full surprise.
So she was like, yeah, shocked. And we're like, we still had to set up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So she's like walking in, blah, blah, blah. And then we're there setting up. Forget what she did for the entry song because we sure as...
It wasn't you.
Yeah.
iPhone.
Back then, man, this was a couple of years ago. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, probably some aux cord or something back
Yeah.
then. But yeah, then set up. It actually went pretty well after that.
That's good.
But
Recovered.
like we had the run sheet on like the table. Like we obviously had not like, oh, hopefully you have this song and all that. And there was no, I think 3G was just a thing
Yeah.
at that time. So there was no like, oh yeah, look it up on Spotify and do all this sort of thing.
Had to have this on.
So like, yeah, we had actually, I think we had all of them.
Prepared.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, that was just, and we were like, wow.
Unforgettable.
Yeah. Dan's like, lucky it was both of us. So
Yeah.
Dan's like, oh, what's coming next? Okay, they're doing the first dance. Which song is it? This one. Go.
I bet you guys made it look effortless. I'm sure no one knew.
No, yeah, probably not. I
Yeah.
don't know. One person did. He came up to us. Okay, thank you. Oh, the guy that.
Was organising.
Yeah. The guy that called us up.
So lucky.
They were
good
grateful.
recovery.
Yeah. So there you go. But thank you so much for joining me, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
Episode. Not a problem. If you want to go and check out Alex's services, head to the Instagram handle.
The Vow_ceremonies.
Amazing. And if you need DJs for your events, More Life, head to our website. Thank you so much for tuning into the More Life frequency. As I always say, all the best and stuff the rest.